Yemiamina, Hunam de Yamiada Roma, or the Ache, and we are pa.
Yamiase.
Chia, what you for now?
Omajoso. And then you launch a Ghana month officially, which made the month of March, a Ghana month. Before we began, your mind didn't come on here, she knew near any Yamubi na a JD.
Yes,
Emudia in our Kaipa.
They all kind of not just a do na me that should do. Your go near Capinchine, the Geka
a Capinchi.
Yeah, wouldn't matter crop. But I can't share no him. I can't share your family the MC.
No, I don't know.
Oh, sir, yeah, should have best run me with my cross.
Maybe I was a
gas one weekend.
Or some a gas. Okay,
international.
A canchi.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
Yes.
In the Prof and Sakan, so Prof, where you send me Sano 8 year when rain himself called Parliament could you maybe, but even before that, no now. Ghana for Bebrina, your segment be a friend community concern. Na Bebrina free a como cards on sem, my register, me choir, say me card and yeah ready. Even before we come to Juma Ukudi or Parliament, no Ghana card Jume no ni states the same CCR me pacho.
Yo Obi me dase bebre and okre mete edi hu yaw Ghana for omo akoye omo cards obunsa enka na kwahodo bebre so ma omko oye omo
yes
enye sa na ye pe no enye sa na ye nhihye ete na obeka ya omampani kufo pen so ye hye adwuma yase no minua pani Professor Dumo, okay Komla Dumo no amundi pani papa onya ne baby ko nkai man for ya on na hye adwuma de yase President kufo pen so na July 2008 na mekosi na 9
okay
and the first mass registration was Central Region you call Western you call Volta and Eastern Volta
yes
na afiaba na abanse samba na me fi ho na a trans here adwene ho me call back 2017 President Kufuor abenso sorry President Kufuor ado benso no ye hu se enipa 900,000 pe and then Ghana card in be 900,000 pe
okay
and then Ghana card between 2009
okay
I share mass registration
okay
ebepim 2017 February no
okay
na che say enipa kakra bi na etumi enya Ghana card omo no omo ye only 900,000 sa branding nyina so na card yetimi nipa ya register omu nyina o man na only 4.5 million
okay
in that long period and cards na ya print 2,719,425
okay
out of which emu 900,000 per and na omukra Ghana card from 2008 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16
17 I will call
9 good years now 900,000 people and then Ghana card
okay
the etnasi dwene ho ne hu se eye ekwan a ye fa so no
okay
ye say ye be kwa register adihye na ye the data no agu CD-ROM so sabre no
okay
na ye dia buy headquarters na ya ba ye centralized printing ya print cards in our headquarters na ya sign batch na ya box na ye dia gu kam na ya call back to sebe in krase new chrome no na ya sign akochi check cards no enti ehun se enipa no kọ na akoye no kọ na wanya no eno ano no ubo ne don komi na wa ma eno ano no na cards no bi aka we redesigned the system send ye be instant issuance
of cards
enti ya redesign system no ena ye be instant issuance by enim sa hanso so network connectivity no and to say abrochiri
yes
enti no enye den a enye baby na obetumi enya strong network sometimes ukra free phone back one say wadum no and so na enye sanity enti ye say all right ye be deferred issuance and so and no che say yentimi am print amount instantly
ye be mo akono abeje na later
no abeje ye be print files enti senka studio ha na bia printers be say and 9 and I do na wa ha na officer baako card verification officer otia no print cards ni nyina no batch enti ade chi anopa na registration officer we in charge no abegye cards no de agu kam no akọ distributor ma registration centers na ewo asepotem ho na adehia for cards and ye deferred issuance. And a third option in that centralized printing. Into your redesign system, they say, sir, and ye may me and son, ye de be juma. During mass registration, ye mostly, sir, instant issuance. Or ye our amount for a ding in no chrome say over 90% of the cards printed instantly.
90%.
Over 90% of the cards printed instantly. But uko na sa wo dia ma na awrai dora dia ba na wo dia be ya wo ya na wo dia was say dia chire prenum prensa wo be ko na be a network or for whatever reason na wo card emaya na ayasem obi o honso na enye network intra na mom ono ankasa ena enam no so na mfomso bi aba odi osai bonsu President Kufuor time or register no or the kwabena edi animu oba this time no ne kwabena no was to say a copy into your coin no akotro copy osebons anansa osebons no or the hyphen bia any hodada aba beto enfimfin
yes
enti no ama waye onipa foforo kra completely enti sa nipa no enya de a ne information or the amaye no ebetimi aye adwuma ene the ordinary 2008 or 9 or 10 under President up to President Mahama Penso
yes
ebobra ebasa na system no achi na application in the records no na dia code queue so
Asempa FM
obi honoma the maiden name no asesa no aye no misses something on far to say obi die no on far emra kwan so en gazette change of name enye hwe. The system arrests the person's application as a fraud or as a suspicious case. Na akodi queue so. Na ye investigation on one basis, case by case basis. Enti oye dan renchire grawa ye ntimi nyi wo application in fitwo.
Yes.
So ye obi ni emedi animu na ye nyama. So that's a real problem.
Yeah.
That's number 2. There are also a few instances where there is just a technical problem, just with any technical system you create or design, that there is a small percentage here, there's a problem. Indeed, obi ohokra, ya capture the biometrics, ya bibia kama. Na ya print a card na we. Afe we issue card na manono. What didn't say me asokra fingerprint biama. There are a few instances that science itself is unable to explain adequately, but that's negligible. Nipadodro na then falls into categories here, Mackay. But the majority of the problem we have now, a problem arising from about August of last year.
August.
And no, the result of financial, I call it financial constipation. Am I a headache? So, actually, as of mine, affecting enema bebre. One of the areas that are affected a national identification authority. Now, any say, anticipate right from COVID time.
Yes.
Say there will be supply chain challenges around the world when it comes to chips. Until we placed orders for chips a long time ago, and the blank cards, I had delivered, they've been mailed onto the chips, everything is fine. Until you were about 3.5 million blank cards. Blank, and you'll be out there. Yeah, assign my UBI, and for UBI, personalizing. Okay. These blank cards, were private partner NIA, I have friend Identity Management Systems Limited.
And then the margins,
a subsidiary of the margins. Okay. Almost so a private partners almost design the whole technical system. They provided the equipment, the registration kits, BBR. And yeah, responsible for the registration, the engagement, the education, etc., etc. Enti eno na ye saa arrangement ye di adwuma. Enti omo no omo de omo sika abo omo akobo omo bisi so omo ade omo nema asia wo na omo apɛ omo sika na omo de equipment no aba. Now beyond a certain point, Ghana government ayen aban no yen NI Ghana no ye yakodi omo ka.
Okay.
Enti no eye eche se ye tua saa eka no. Ena omo so chip na omo de buy no omo koji loan efi car bank ena ede amaye nti esi etumi etua saa car bank loan no efi ho ena I build it up over time because ye be
Drew Bay sense here.
Oh, it's over 100 million
USD.
100 million USD.
Okay.
Now so build up no kana akudu no ena aban aye ne say you betua na kakra eti ene car bank for aye enhyehyeye.
Okay.
Ama omo ate ase se pro rata bosumi bia betua say betua almost be release say ene ade beyond 3.5 you be say here cars ni bi.
Yes.
It's say register Ghana for in perpetuity.
Sure.
It's say register Ghana for what amanoni. It's say register Ghana for
15 years and below for
15 years and below 15 years.
Yes.
Ti sa hyehyeye nyina ewo ho enye dan ya e be here cars. And this is a going concern. This project is for 15 years. I think year 3.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But began in 2019.
2019.
Intino, sanity. Enti, sa Ghana this year, I register for Ghana cards since about August semikano.
Omo cards in my.
Omo cards na my no. Yem printy omo cards no.
Okay.
Because we have run short of blank cards. Neno na se sa ekaye owe efi hopa mani da so ne se enra finance minister kan wo parliament I stated he confirmed this are releasing 80 million Ghana cedis aka 20 million my ratio muni said by close of business today no na bia sa 20 million no I paid off. So I paid off.
Or that clear debt because I said that $100 million.
Debt, no.
Okay.
I said that
we're part.
We have
pro rata
exactly.
agreement. Okay.
I said pro rata. And once that is cleared, then will be in a position to get cards and print
out omo register no
omo register na omo sankan and comfort show me letters yeah e be phone calls e be messages so be onim me bia de and krekoja ma sorry and I say you know enti obekono na aya hometesem ukwa sorry baby ani pehia bia mintimi nka obi because ukwa eye nokra ni obi ahia asem na odi to anim but there's nothing you can do about it because and yes card ni bi hye and na okwa menua no ana mebusuani I don't do that in any event but ebia we asoma sinti no ni atwen bi aye e de ama we don't do it that way
very well
enti eno ne de edikan
sisia fantastic enti Professor Ken Attafuah and Motene Nkano in when amaye hu the state of the project as we speak and why nipa binom cards or monsa enkan we also know say there is this group or mono modi statement be by say nipa binom so cards are ready. Yes. We are told say some of those cards now as I mix it up kakra nti me barber register wo Asempa FM studio ha say me ba Asempa FM studio ha ye hwe cards ma ye say me card enim in unim ba bi krobie wa obetimi asan akwa card. Are you faced with such a situation?
The last time I knew Dean come on he raised this over a year ago.
Yes.
Etisan and Tisa. Let's enter a boss in Chichimu. My Wiensu mepese to give a more comprehensive picture of the state of affairs.
Yes.
See, I can't one of the areas of state of affairs, the problems. But there are also brilliant success stories.
Sure.
We should find time to talk about.
Sure, very important.
But on the problems and in the solution. Enipa ya register womo. Mamin sisubim 17 million 375,861 as of Kwesiade Tremon.
Okay.
Figures American Parliament runner.
Okay. Who use
now Sabreno be 17,375,861. Omo aya print omo cards out of that no 16,737,734.
Oh, okay.
16.7 out of 17.3 printed.
And we are Ghanaians between the ages of
15 and above.
15 and
From
above.
Age 15 and above. Okay. And now, omo yedi omo cards asha omo nsem ama omo deko. 16 million and 95,331.
Okay.
So if you go back to the number registered,
Yes.
17.3, and a number issued, 16.095. That's not too bad, given the technology of internet use, internet availability. Network. Sorry, availability. Any the printing instant issuance. Send me no. It's a relatively speaking, a small percentage of people.
And a car.
Omo cards. But omo ya printing omo cards dada. Eguho. Omo enko G, the number of cards printed but not issued. Omo enko collected, Omo 642,000.
642,000.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
642,403.
403.
Yes. Sir, cards printed but not collected.
Yes.
And then all over the country. All over the country, you were 16 regional offices and 276 district offices. Yeah, well, 275 district offices in all Ghana, but NIA operationally they saw.
Okay.
It was 276.
Okay.
Ti obi bano kase me ma register okokomlemle. Na mi hunia me card wa. Mass registration but me ba pro has.
Yes.
Joy FM munche he ya asempa munche he ya. Na you has
Asempa FM
registration center. Ena kokomlemle has oko Attafuah.
Yes.
College ho no ATTC ho ebi wo ho and na woko anim kakra bi a the mosque no was ro ho na e ho nso ebi wo ho me call aprobo ho nyina obi ho ade onima ne se me register o Joy FM nchen ho enti okase okoje ne card na ebi ase office o Joy FM ha na waba but ebi ana fa ko register wo esro ho college ne so no ebi ana a different district. I encounter a situation where somebody registered at the information service behind Afrikiko.
Okay.
Corner hono, Ibisha ho. Obi register ho. Eho ye kanda.
Oh.
But ni pakrono pen a card no or call lejokuku. Grow. A lot of people don't know their districts. So,
but how would people know, say? For this registration point, I may call register, it falls in this particular district.
That is your responsibility as a citizen.
Okay.
That much is the responsibility of the citizen. NIA cannot, for example, it cannot publish in the newspapers every single registration center
any district
and where the district in which it's located. We won't find the money to make that publication in the Daily Graphic and Ghanaian Times. What we can do is to encourage the citizenry to find out. You know where you went and registered. If you registered at Accra Rich Church, you should know the district in which Accra Rich Church is located. As a citizen, so Mr. Mika, a minimum duty says so who district wo timuno. Enti odishe bia obetimi akọ obi ho no obetimi akọ about 3 or 4 different places looking for Fakua the district no ewo sa eno de Mr. Mika, there is a bit of a disconnect between citizenship and the duty that we bear in order to serve ourselves and to serve our nation. But the law, the duty that is imposed on us, and they say a big gazette, registration centers, registration centers, and also a gazette based on the law says that we should use the last polling stations are easy.
create
enti na yakɔ near the survey equipment ne yakɔ test ɛhɔ ne nyinaa o ne ahwehwɛ faako a internet strongest because of printing no now you selected the best near locate
more registration centers
no. In spite of that any difficulties are still with printing cards and ade enti mesre obia ose makoha mi hunu onya botre bisa assemblyman bia o area ho an assembly woman bisa na ye sure say faako a wo register no
district bank meaning say me who me registration point and me district me kwasa district office so me card ne wo
exactly now second but the amana even easier even easier babia ubeko bia no say wode won si ya fidie no so a your system be a friend claiming we've claimed all the cards enti obi ohonomo a na the card aye misdirected
yes
instead of asante mampon ne bia kopie asokore mampon okay ukona don si ya fidie no so a o card ni image ebe pop up or the information necessary will pop up you betimi ehu faako a wo register any faako a o card no ewo and is akopie ewo damango na say ye de bra na ye de card na fi damango
e de
abro enkrofo bebre omo kasa omo card oninsa anka ne ade obi hono mo a na waba betwa trokra so me card ayira because or register okodi bronya ewo nakura baby ne ye registration wo ho and or register ne nsa anka ne card no at that time say waba akra eye ne din eye na ni ha na se onyanko ni krom ho inse so obedi no krese me register wo dwaso bronya nanso so me hunu me card no na why say me card na ayira enti no akọ police no akọje extract we twantro no agi police extract no akọye card for a create shortage of cards because it in a card no when you a new card but the old card one is still there and it's counted among your
cards
622,000 yes that have not been issued obi me can say card bi ho so a yenyam print ya yensaka ye release scanner
be mamo
na yenya card na be print no ma me mfanto amamfo anim say sa phone nyina since August or so na make no 541,529 cards.
That is more a register but mon sanka or more cards.
Yam print ya cra.
Mon print your cards cra no.
Omo intimate print ya cra because you need cards no.
Okay.
Omo ye 541,529. Sa cards no na enra na mema parliament.
Yes.
And Ghana for anoba and ya rehemu say yensa cards you bet me a print sa cards within 11 days.
11 days.
11 days.
All the 500,000 plus.
No? Yeah.
Mobile printing now within 11 days.
A very simple matter. The technical competence, operational readiness, everything is intact for us to do that.
It is a more printed and no. Now, a month for a 1 day and it will take the total number of cards issued not to be 18 million thereabout, right? 18 million.
Exactly. And let's remember, so we can't say imagine our election issues. You see, the total number of Ghanaians almost 15 years and above, and they are registered almost 17 million.
Sure.
Out of that 17.3, no, almost 16.9 Obi aged 18 and above.
Okay.
Electoral Commission funds so total number of people on their register voter register 17 million and 29,000. 17 million and 29,000. Out of that, 16.9 are already on the NIA register. Almost war easy at the end also.
Oh, okay.
Because the 16.9.
Okay.
And the number of Ghanaians are almost aged 15 and above. Almost the yenya and capture almost 2,565,705.
Okay.
That's the number of Ghanaians aged 15 and above
who are
yet to be registered. 2.5 million people. We can register them in 3 months.
Really?
Last year, yeah, any special registration and yeah, mass, anything. Just people walking into our offices, we did over 1.5 million registrations last year. Remember, you read mass registration, you know. Now, yeah, 16 million. So, you know, 17.37, and yet, any special
registration exercise, yeah.
Time SIM card registration, issue Nana Ghana for when you people were rushing going to any other, but there's been no special effort. Into say kaya home, ye maya home so say per se, ye saka cards, BBNC a. In addition to the work of our regional and district offices, Yenye certain expedited, I'm just thinking aloud. Yenye any special program, Niemfama omo epese omoko register. Maximum 3 months. Ye jama and normal. In 6 months' time, we can register all of these.
Register
from yenye operational and technical standpoint, these are not challenges. These are not challenges at all.
In the to register, sir, 2 point something million. No, mube here mass registration of a sort, and as mube no district office.
We don't need a mass registration, but even if we have to resort to a mass registration, you see, mass registration is so expensive. Obi, our average monthly bill during mass registration was about 20 million cedis.
20 million
wages of staff. Roughly. So it's a very expensive enterprise. So that's not how you approach. You don't use that kind
mass
of
registration
approach to every program. We have to do some targeted registration strategy. Bisa entino enwoho ena omo cards na make one say a DQ mu rejected due fees because omo problem information be enomni ade ni nyina no. We are resolving these matters systematically. Na obi ohono a na on follow up after send the card no a call into a problem state. The card has since been released. It has been printed, but it has not been issued. Obi ohono last week me call domain office. I was just monitoring. Me say Juma be bring koso ba na me pese me hwe me Juma phone so say na mu siti how they are coping with the situation. Obekona me call regional office na a former electricity company PW Redesigning. Na ma me bia ba me koto no na osu because onya ne card into ultimate transact business na ne ra ho ne ho na me call domain so me bisa no. Among for cards they have about 2,000 cards. They showed me the book. Calls any date, any time near the other. Friendly panel, Ubiti catch us. Ubiti catch us. Ubi Honoma will lose interest. There are any number of reasons, but an Obama Dema Oman phone say Obia why a card. None in Sankaye. Na the card wo dada ya frewa mesewa akokoji omo yem fre omo
meaning say yenya frewa when you go to that office now card
exactly because they will tell you that it is this office, but really the problem is not omo muntumi hunu fa ko omo card wo no the largely urban problem Accra Kumasi Temanum because it be or register wo Tema baby the card no was Spintest Road office but unim se hona ebi ano okọ Tema community something and now okọ Ashaman because fa kon register and nadwene nse ho na eben eno no no but obia in the rural areas there obia in the district capital ho no ehon so na office no
NIA office no ewo eno so present challenge emma nipanum be because mobile mass registration no ebia mo set up a registration center close to the person. Ebi our district, mo man fa nko district capital nko mo de ba ne kra ase and register ho. Ne card na red ne was say free ne kra na say but district capital.
That is the problem.
And no any issue.
A big issue. That's one of the biggest issues we are dealing with. And when we're in parliament, that's the issue they were raising. When we go monitoring, that's the biggest problem. The dynamic can say the first problem is one of knowing the location. And only predominantly an urban problem.
Yes.
But the rural or district and peri-urban areas, the problem there, I know my district.
Yes.
I know where my card is, but I don't have the money.
The means.
Yeah, the means to travel to that place. And be a market day no because diga kakra be fi na me akwa me card. And I say no so na me kogin so dia no anso na nipa be bring so ba beji to be hani asan ko dumping na eni nyina ye disincentive and also that is a real problem. Part of the solution, some MPs and MMDCs and others have volunteered have volunteered to assist and say okay, be boy be mamuka na they call rounds yeah announcement say e be a Joada way and as if crew way so na ya ne sa na it wo ye announcement ne sa na wasi wachi kwan if say staff no so ye limited
okay
enti say wo obi wo call office wo say wo akwaje wo card na say fiada no na omo so call of once so omo distribute cards na chese wa boka
omo eba office one so
enya service no because of our limited personnel and there are different arrangements and then of course security we have to work with the police and immigration the security sector institutions to help protect both the people going to the field and also the officer if you are no more vulnerable and say police for and security for in there so it raises issues of ration support and any pabedi when things that were factored into
original budget
extra budgetary arrangements just say the MP or the DCE or obia or tunu huama na wa boy say be a crewman person me boama yesi but obima an offer like that and so it has to be structured. We have to plan it in such a way that our officers will not become vulnerable to manipulation. We have to make sure that, there is sincerity behind it. There is no, because Obi Baba Juni say, your friend is saying manipulation, it be a DC, no person or per votes, or people have all kinds of ideas. And now MP, because na DC ni MP pre, every so, and now say intra party. And now even between NDC and MPP. Say NDC MPP na Emma offer na. Over here be a MPP ni bin so tinjan. No, you say bibi wechre. It's a complex problem.
But shouldn't we then say your budget for a project like this, that budget too will not be cast in stone. In the a budget a bit is subject to variations. In this this challenge because I always say registering for the card is as important as you getting the card. In the independent register, we every time we also in Saka card if we have to vary our budget to make sure we would find a way of providing people with their cards. They come crossing, why don't we do that?
Obi, this is an obvious thing to us.
Yes.
So the fact that it's not happening means that it's not just that.
And yes, simple.
It's not just that. Budget is not. I have alluded to quite a few other things. Even vehicles, the logistics you need, equipment, say registration material, kits. That's not a problem. The laminates and all of that. Fancy card crying a problem.
Yes.
The transportation, the number of personnel. We have 4 people per office. In the regional office, we have 5.
Okay.
Every position, there is only 1 person. Into technical personnel or register or take you biometrics. So our technical personnel or issue card. It is a woman so every office one. I can say what close to office that day no. Udine call sa ekrana say or the next time distribute 2 cards. Nothing is happening at the head of at the district office and vice versa. Sana akwakoye. It's not just about budget, but it's also about a functioning office. It's about a whole lot of other matters. But budget review there,
sure.
Into to me the enema saka. Me no kasa krano. Kon katamanso.
Yes.
That this plan, this discussion is happening. The distribution of cards
Yeah,
outside of the office. I can a couple of times. Me and my classmate who law school, Honorable Roxanne Nelson. Bisa me say, or pese or ye a facility like this, opportunity like this for his people to get the cards. And arrangements it's within our contemplation. In some places, my regional and district officers are already implementing it, where we have analyzed the situation and come to the conclusion that with all the relevant stakeholders, there is no problem using this approach. But I wanted to share some other information. Say, applicants are almost sanka cards
no
na onim sebia me card na wo here na say obetimi afresa number.
Okay,
there is a regular number and
very
there
important.
is a WhatsApp number. I'd like you to use your beautiful voice to announce it for me.
I may announce it. Very important. And when you say bia wa register on sanka card but unim baby a obeko akwaje o card na numbers a obefre eni ba kon call number na ba ko WhatsApp number. And the call number na 0302 999 306. Messi Sisubio, where the obefre call 0302 999306. In the fresh CCA Nebusa district I'll be to Makwajo card. Questions will be busa no way no na fe udi fraud. You say 0302 999306. WhatsApp number ninsu any 0203 228394. 0203 228394. Ofra on be our district. I'm also told that district officers is published on the NIA website. In the website, our district officers nina in the numbers ni bi your friend here 0302 999306 0302 999306 and at 0203 228394 0203 228394 in the Ofra na unimo districts baby our card wa ombebo. Prof, there are some questions back on Obi. Ask Prof why someone would pay for a premium service and then months after be told that the card needs verification. We spent over 4 hours just for the verification. I personally witnessed other people coming in with piles of forms, jumping queues because they have arrangement with the staff within. Why is our system like that? When is the card going to be issued to Ghanaians abroad? Ben K and anyway about Prof.
Okay, Pacho Ben K questions never be brew.
Sure.
Now let's unpack it.
Sure.
First of all, me nim near ultra about verification and premium center.
Yeah, I say premium, he paid for premium service.
Yes.
And then months after he was told the card needs verification. And I say or call verification center no, he spent over 4 hours just for the verification.
Okay, so let's separate the issues.
Okay.
We have a premium registration service. It's a statutory. There's a statutory fee of 250, say 280 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Now it is a facility that is made available to persons who want to avail themselves of that privilege.
Okay.
Where you pay, and in the comfort of the environment that is created. Anka ni papa mukura yemema nsuo bema tea or coffee or chocolate to drink cocoa. That is a premium. Okoje passport, oko DVLA. In see traditional free service arrangement, in see
Okay.
Now, so when you have paid, whether you pay for it or you don't pay for it, you get the service. One is about the environment in which you get it.
Yes.
So Oba, now you're number one. Only the country premium no more the because unya tna your office and anymore. It takes about 30 to 35 minutes maximum for you to get your card and walk away.
A premium service. No?
Any regular service.
Okay.
Because the picture that you chow no, it takes about X number of time. We fingerprint X number of seconds. Yeah, print a card now it takes 4 minutes for the card to print. Both sides to laminate it and give to you.
Yes.
It nothing changes whether it is premium or is traditional. I mean the free service.
Sure.
It is the environment and all of that. So number one, na adopano and now kono ubi anywhere. The same as ubi awaba premium in terms of time. But obanda queue wa ubeche. Uko premium na queue wa ubeche. The reason there's usually no queue at the premium is that you are required to book online.
Okay.
Fix a time.
And sana
wako. Into Bekonona, officers are waiting for you, not the other way around.
Okay.
Intino important. Inti se obi eko na okoye ni premium. That is it. It's got nothing to do in the world with verification na minuano ebisano. Verification there. Wako bank. And now telco, baby, now pay a service.
Yes.
They must verify
the card.
Say who obi na ujina wa ukra card we no. One pan.
Okay.
Now obi I can announce with pride. Say since about August, July, August, there have been over 120 verifications and not a single hitch, not a single failure. In other words, banks, telcos, fintechs, financial institutions, all kinds of service providers have verified the Ghana card over 120 million times.
Okay.
And there has not been a single failure. Each time, by failure, I mean, if you hire a but say a failure, and to me, I'm verified.
And to me, I'm verified.
It is a significant accomplishment about the technical system that we have built. So, when you go and they verify, within 300th of a second, it runs through the database at the headquarters and comes back with a reply, whether it's a yes or no.
Oh, no.
It gives you a reply. And there's not been a single hitch. It's a minim problema. But
also there 4 hours just for the verification.
I don't understand.
Okay.
So bet to me back on my
with further in better particulars. But no, Obusa, final question: when is the Ghana card going to be issued to Ghanaians abroad?
Okay. So we are conflict and
okay.
But I think what he means simply is Ghanaians
in the diaspora.
Issue to know an problem. The concept of issuance responsibility. Oba a technical term. Issue card no the amount. But you must present yourself say oba be collected or card.
Okay.
That's part of the problem of 642,403 Ghanaians, whether it is a collection or issuance. So, we have failed to issue the card to you. Minuana Obisano answer and say, Emranese National Identification Authority. Yen register Ghana for amanane na yema omo cards. Na sa as exercise the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration and enye sa adwuma no na almost staff no and na ebe yes adwuma no
okay
enti yen ya said yen say ebe training Mufari staff abroad, Ghana mission staff abroad. Na omo atake on sa responsibility.
Okay.
Yene ministry na dinkita ho bebre ayen hwehwe ya eye as Ghanaians typically say far advanced. Na anka yawa rehemu se bi kranka march na anka start na anka and to say no we thinking about April 20 something. A sign near ma see in the last 2 weeks any parliament I acquire me to any ama me yet tentative. Say me ntimi nsinipi. But all things being equal, our plan is to begin the registration of Ghanaians in the diaspora at the end, towards the end of April.
And almost no ebeye instant printing of cards.
Instant issuance.
More printing, more issue.
Also the
internet would be
exactly.
Correct. And then also, are we doing all Ghanaian missions at a go? And as I selected,
structured, selected. Pilot no cry.
Okay.
Into no in batches. until the first 10 missions. The
next 10.
Yes. Yeah, structured. And Mimfa Sakwenye and Kase, also your friend is saying,
94.7.
There's a fee.
Okay.
There is a fee for the card outside Ghana. Ghanaians in Ghana and a card on first issuance.
Free.
So now but for replacement. There is a fee for replacement of 100 at the premium center.
Yes.
100 CDs 100
at the
premium center.
Okay. For replacement.
But at the
normal registration center.
Normal registration, 34 CDs and 50 pesos.
Okay.
Normal
registration. NIA office. No, okay.
But Oko replacement at a premium center there, 110. And menya aboho de mamem kan ya kan ho. And obi o na updating information. Wasesa
ni din bi yeah.
And 34 CDs 50 pesos.
Okay.
Na say Uba beye update. I am printing card for Emma. And also you're free. If for example, what change your digital address?
Okay.
And now residential address. Okay. And now age. No, worry.
Marital status.
Yes.
Mobile updates no for free.
Okay. But I'll change your date of birth.
Yes.
Now who prove pass ampa. Afena umame birth certificate in my hospital. Have well on the trunk I say that validate na VBI correct.
Yeah.
Now you check it with the birth and death register VBI fine. Near samawa. And no you better print a card for Frama.
Okay.
And now worry
for which you have to pay.
So you have to pay because the update affects a record on the face of the card.
Yeah.
In Tiabeti somehow.
Yeah.
Now back to Abruchri for the no. I Ghana for what amanano. Say a court amanano. Ghana for addition a war West Africa.
Sure.
Omobetua the equivalent of $20.
20 USD. Ghana near war within Africa. Within West Africa. Togo, Nigeria, Liberia, Ivory
Senegal,
Coast, and Animal. Okay.
Mali near.
Okay.
Now say you feel West Africa. Now you call the rest of Africa. Ghana this year on Ombetua the equivalent of $30 US.
Okay.
And now step outside the African continent. This year a war abroach
Europe, America, baby,
Australia, the Biano, and no yeah $50 United States equivalent. Now answer na obe present for sa registration.
Yes.
Na as I say why booking of an appointment online.
Okay.
Set me nipa sumasi me pese me ba such and such. Send ya okoye
visa
oh yeah no sa pepe into be corona a officer available for you.
And I said now can mobile training mission staff nebi na o my registration as I issue cards na the amount call for, right?
Yes.
Mission staff na the best
mission staff na best adwuma no. Etino eno no ye wo information we nyina so yen website.
Okay.
Say you book an appointment online, you pay for the service in advance, then you present yourself at the mission, then they will take your biometrics, and then you go to when they take your biometrics, they print the card, and then they issue it to you. After you have reviewed the information on the card. Near the slip be
amount say correct.
Yes, I will have a or your bar and so not sex acquire male and now the other way round. Now I had been be brave. Need to remember and a basse a true female. No, my first falling.
And then on your man. But there's one other thing. Charges now will be from West Africa, out the rest of Africa, and the rest of the world. No, now you statutory charges. Parliament
approves our charges.
Okay. Okay. And for almost all diaspora, no, say be US, make us all California. In him say Ghana mission no Washington DC. And also about DC and Sana or be register, right? They don't have to expect say mission staff never call around. states in the US?
No, but Nina part of the arrangements that we are working on.
Okay.
As we are the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Any year NIA Minister Honorable Ambrose Derry. On Minister for the Interior. At the appropriate time, our leaders will make the appropriate announcement about all of these detailed arrangements. But no, we do not expect somebody to move from California to Washington or from Vancouver to Ottawa or to Toronto. In all these places, there are consular officers. And depending on the circumstances, we'll make arrangements. And then where it's possible for the mission staff to also plug into the domestic calendar of Ghanaian cultural associations and all of that, So these engagements or conversations are ongoing. Best settle down. Now you a proper firmed up announcement. But in broad strokes, generally, the idea is to begin in April to
Ghanaians in the diaspora. Great. To some other messages. Now, you're dealing with messages. I'll then take Prof to Parliament. If you share Enra the course so our Parliament any information will provide and what will happen from now. We say, Obi, please ask Prof when will cards be available at their district registration centers. I visited their office at Gan South and the Wutu Briku for replacement 4 months till now. Still, they don't have cards. And I think the issue of card shortages, they are Prof a year, another Dave Yebo. We say, Obi, please ask Prof. How much have they realized from the premium services and what has the money been used for?
Okay, so the edikai about district officers lacking cards. And generally say since about August last year we've had challenges. It became even more acute from about October. Now the yakra ne Ghana this year omufia man on babedi bronya na be brief pesenka omufasa akwan no so enya Ghana card no matimi operate omo businesses here and from abroad and yade na card ni ho na yetimi apprenti obi ho a wanya scholarship or kwa bru ne banya scholarship or kwa bruchiri ohia Ghana niama be bre ema Ghana card no enya no ehia na so card eni honti esikwan enti district office bia no se yekase ye bia tomu a ubenya enipa mpempem ombeka say yakoho a yenya card eye no krenso. It is because we don't have it. Now the total number ne 541,000 to 529,000 I mean 541,529 make us say omunsa intimate print your card.
Okay.
Yes.
And Godfred Ampon sounds a question here on premium services.
Will be, or say, the question here, when will cars be available? The cars will be available as soon as we clear this hurdle. And I expect that by next week,
now, my payments
need to me clear arrangements for cars to be available. That's my hope.
Okay.
Yes.
Premium services, how much has been realized and what has the money been used for?
I can't give the answer now. I didn't anticipate this, but I can easily find out. Yes. Premium service, we started in I think July of 2020 and of 2021. Your headquarters.
Okay.
And car bank so you started last year 2022
Okay.
And relatively new arrangements. Just this month the month of February 2 weeks ago you started back in Kumasi. And in the last week you started be Otakra de Koforidia. At the moment we have the premium service 5 of them. Car bank headquarters in Accra, NI headquarters Kumasi, Takrade, Koforidia.
Very well.
Tamale will be ready very soon. We watch these ones and see what lessons we learn from them, and then consider establishing in Ho and Cape Coast and other
regional capitals. Okay.
Baby Kra, Abia, any regional capital, but we might find say a premium center may be viable. Ebia memfan say Aguna Swedro Kasem Keke and Takwa those kinds of places. Achimdan, you might might be able to do well. But you want to be sure, say the cost of setting up and operating it, because it means additional staff. And then the facilities that you put there and all of that, that at the end of the day there will be return on investment.
Yes. Good. Alhaji Hudu Yaya says, Obi, how confident is Prof that all or most of the people we will be registered before the EC starts their registration? If he's that confident, can he put his credibility on this assurance? In Alhaji Hudu Yaya and on the way Abba. I think it takes us to Parliament and round come out with Parliament and say about later, and maybe we can hold on with this question. Now you read the other ones, no? Na famous Abba, we say, Obi, please ask the NIA boss if it's true that Ghanaians living abroad with foreign passport could travel back to Ghana with a Ghana card without visa. Kofi Jemfi and Ebusa Sasem. I think this conversation about up that Sanetie say Umbetimia back to Ghana or say Ghanaians living abroad with foreign passports. Can they travel back to Ghana with a Ghana card without a visa? So
there are a few complications in the question.
Okay.
Before Ghana card, you must prove that you are a Ghanaian.
Okay.
It is so prove you are a Ghanaian by maybe somebody vouched for you.
Yeah.
Or you use your birth certificate. So you keep your British or Canadian
or American passport.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you are coming to Ghana, the Ghanaian authorities, the immigration authorities, are interested in your Ghanaianness.
Yeah.
Now, you prove that Ghanaianness by virtue of or by reference to your Ghana card. And no na omono ewo the instructions or the arrangements say Udu airline no gate. Na oba Ghana na ukra sa Ghana card no na Ghana na oba there, they should allow you in. And nuntina so share your friend is saying I think the finder of yesterday also,
finder newspaper. Okay.
Yes. Now a certain number of Ghanaians are almost abba Ghana traveling on the Ghana card from Euro-American countries, arriving in Ghana, not
without a visa.
You don't need a visa. And this is something very important. The Vice President has been emphasizing. Yes. So the Ghana card can be used by Ghanaians living abroad to travel to Ghana without the need to acquire a Ghana visa.
And when he has a Ukra, a British passport and an American passport.
No.
Once Ukra Ghanaian passport, no Ukra Ghana card, now to your brooch, which made the bar without a visa.
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We say Obi, why is it difficult to distribute the printed Ghana cards when owners don't know whether the cards are ready or not? Okay, but have their telephone numbers which can be used for bulk SMS or calls to them. This will cure us. An answer to this will cure the rumors of some that are being denied their cards. Okay, Kwame Ohinebe is and that question has been answered already.
And let me add that this bulk SMS message, we've done all of this. I hear these things. These are obvious ideas, and they don't cost much. And they are well-trodden paths, almost pedestrian. But we've done them. You know, the Stubborn Academy is a real academy, and then there are people who genuinely do not know where to go, or don't have the means to go to the district offices, or have not had a compelling need to go for the Ghana card. Now a bani chrome na biwo registration no. Say Osha Greater Accra has mass registration. Ye chemu into two. Accra East and Accra West.
Yes.
Nesano. Yetimi bie ebia 200 and something registration centers within one side of Greater Accra.
Yes.
And the baby a obefane bi wo ho. So
yes.
But say no, we have about 30 something district offices, about 34 or so in Greater Accra. So there are only 34 or so offices within Greater Accra, where there used to be over 200 registration centers. And yes, it creates difficulty, but that's the nature of the beast for now.
And that's Professor Ken Attafuah, Executive Secretary, National Identification Authority. And
a friend me koforodua me do hona me se momfre obi mame. They just call random. Obi efre obi o say na mumre mi sky na ma ba me card e wo kofo dua ho a obi nso se o na sa bre ni nyanson me ye ready ameba you know.
Anyways, into my Indian trust, and then I'll take you to Parliament. Yeah, Parliament in Como, and the questions are around what the Electoral Commission would want to do, and the assurances are more the members of Parliament. Enra, let me see. This one says, Obi, my sister registered in Amansia Central, Jacobu, almost 2 years ago, and has not received the card. After several attempts to collect her card from the district, she was told her card is in the northern region. Now she's been asked by the officials to pay for charges of over 100 Ghana cedis before the card will be brought to the district for her to take it. It is quite disturbing and very frustrating. Why should one pay for charges of an error she did not cause? This issue must be rectified immediately. Ken, Ewo Ayawaso West. Prof.
Well, Ken, me to asam na rectified immediately. No, me tia idea. Enya possible, sir. But Obi, Mesra magic Ken details.
Okay.
Wama very important information. Was specified say Jacobu. Was yes. Specified say a copy somewhere in the
northern region.
Me here necessary details near the. Na me necessary nankasa akasa. Na ya hwene ya solve. Me o man mu mpanyin for minister baako. Ne maame e register e wo bantama. Na ne card e copy wo saboba.
Oh,
baby now after a lot of months of frustration, situation about menimno, we made the call. The card was located. The card was transported to Accra. To Kumasi and issued to the person. There's another story like that. But there are many stories. But the gentleman also provides useful information of potential crime of extortion. Say Nipakrono, me officers say what
Jacobuno. Say untia 100 cedis.
There is no such thing.
Okay.
There is no such thing.
So card copy baby and
earlier said there is a claiming there is no circumstance all card misdirected located elsewhere. At fault.
Okay.
Uti kukumlemleha. Now I your card. Now card copy kukumpa. There is nowhere as I
wona utia
eka. So honsano. Se emfunso bi aba. Na se akopie baby. Na se ye de o card no ebrewa. We must bear
the cost.
Nemum ebi a wo kodi akwama e wo takrade. E na register ho. So but say what about fa kwa o ye adwuma ye pando.
Yeah.
Opesi de card ni fit takrade bro pando dia. And e se utua. No e Ghana Post fair a small fair. Any say profited from it.
Okay.
That's the arrangement we have.
Okay.
Enti any say a day year ebre inti area Mr. Wamamene also the same.
Okay, let me see if I can get the name. I'll say a friend on Ken or Ayawaso West. Okay. Gone. I won't cry her. And I'll furnish you with his details. Nafi. Obi, please ask Prof what the literature on registering citizens living abroad is. I would recommend we create a special desk in Ghana to have Ghanaians living abroad to register anytime they come home. I believe this will be a more cost-effective approach than to move some NIA office. Okay, do Ankasa NIA office or say Ombe training mission staff and they will do the registration. The NIA office in the be free here. John Bat-Ado,
just to help him, they all can. We're already doing that. Thousands of Ghanaians who come home. Yeah, we are to register Ghanaians.
Sure.
And to Oba fi Amanenoa, we don't care. We don't want to know whether you came from Amanone. Yeah, now they had Unica Crane or Mono a beefy Amanene Bano or buy Hono Bega slangs. Ami who said, no, an American passport at all. Then when we begin to question them, because your American passport proves that you are American.
You are American.
It doesn't prove that you are a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are speaking Tree.
And just how we are
Ghana ni entino omobana sabi obi de hu oba obecheche no agu me staff no so ye niam bi na oye wie a expose you as a foreigner.
Yeah.
They are trained to interrogate your claims to Ghanaian citizenship. Prove it na etwenchen ho obegina ho no so na oni any means of proving that oye Ghanani or ye a cultural Ghanaian. But and spiritual Ghanaian, but legally no.
a citizen of Ghana.
There be with the American passport abeto, or do Canada or British ubeye sebi ube impressing kwalei. For what? What the people need to do is come to NIA and prove that they are Ghanaians. And you do that by reference to your birth certificate or your passport.
Your Ghanaian passport.
Valid Ghanaian passport. If you have neither document, then you can be vouched for by a relative who already has the Ghana card. Or if you don't have a relative, then by two persons who are already qualified by law, but who also possess Ghana card. Omo, as I say, be omo ye professionals. As I say, be omo ye journalist, teacher, lawyer, doctor, say oye public servant, civil servant, and then a security officer, retired or servant from any of the security sector institutions, and on and on and on. And I say a gazetted chief or imam, what training beer, your friend is saying, Fakwa, unya intitieno, ye nim hokwai, ye reflect Sani Pakrona, ye be hunane, Ghana card, no, ye de ebe tied to wunso. Ghana card forever. It is a Ochan trauma. Say wo obi, we a Ghana ni. Wabra no sabra na wo kasantam no. Na onim se. Na onim se. Okra se wo fribukina.
Obi, I've done replacement for the past 6 months now. I've not received my card till today. The true fact is also that most of the cards are in offices now, especially in Upper West Achim. My SIM card has been blocked, and I am not a stubborn academy too. Big Joe, ewo ade so. In the replacement, I unya the card, meaning say or falling in the category
of those we cannot print because we don't have cards yet.
Okay.
Enti me panicho. Yeah. Manano hobase na wotwe na wotwe di animu ye. Shemu say ibinya cards.
Okay.
Na yetimi ayamano.
Okay. Good afternoon, Obi. Please ask Prof for me. My middle name on the source document I used is Kobla. That's the airway name for Kobina. Same appeared on the sheet of paper the registration officers gave me. But when my card came, the middle name was spelled Koble. That is with an E instead of A. What should I do? Emmanuel Leo Fiagbe.
Yes, Emmanuel needs to go to any of our offices for a replacement.
And obey replacement.
And obey replacement. But obey tuya fee.
We know.
I obey tuya the say, even though or say on the form.
Yeah.
See, on the form, no, a fill you know. On the fill of my information, you're filling it correctly.
Sure.
It's or share form so correct. But card and I buy name was spelling here wrong. But between the form and the card, no, you man a small slip. Say on cross check the information on the slip. And now cross check here sign and sign a print. Information that was slip no so no. And on the back appear
on the card. It cannot change.
And not there, it cannot change. Once it's on the slip, that's what has been captured in the database. It is so you point it out right there, then we correct it. Now unya sign my sign we and scan.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confident. And it is a okoye office ne na ordinance see young officers na the image of the slip he signed will pop up on the day he registered. And then he will see that he signed or thumbprinted before
against spelling mistake for the want of a better.
The problem is that when you see your name or date of birth over and over again, when you see it written somewhere, chances are you read it as if it's correct. You must take your time to make sure that you are validating what is correct.
Okay.
Not, yes.
Emmanuel Leo Fiagbe, that's the answer to a question I will say, this one says
that on chairman about 1 week be Asanwa
office very
the card situation.
Yeah.
2 weeks will be wise.
Good day, Obi. I'm a Ghanaian student in Russia, but registered for Ghana card before coming. How do I register for my SIM card whilst in Russia? I have my Ghana card with me here in Russia. And also ask Prof if they can add the registration of SIM cards when they start Ghana card registration here in the missions abroad. Or say
when will we start?
Or say most start Ghana card registration missions abroad now. Mo bet me the same card registration account one now. Can it run alongside?
No, and no your mandate.
Okay.
We don't have any legal or
okay.
We are a creature of statute.
Sure.
And we as I said earlier, we don't even have the personnel. And juma Ghana mission staff, but they are not mandated and they will not be trained to do SIM card registration alongside the Ghana card registration.
Very well. Good AOB. I was in Ghana recently. And I did my card in Koforidua NIA office. I paid 250 cedis to the guy who issued the card. And he put the money into his pocket. I think the premium the CEO is talking about is just some for some individual benefit. The guys don't give receipt. Jones, New York.
Extremely important information. Jones should come again. When did he do the
registration?
No? And no is sufficient because Koforidua was only 2 weeks ago. We established Premium Center in Koforidua only 2 weeks ago. And so if Jones registered,
I say I was in Ghana recently.
Because if it is within the last 2 weeks, first of all, the Premium Center doesn't work. You don't pay cash to NIA staff. There is a bank. There is a car bank.
Okay.
Officers.
Ewo Center.
There's Premium Registration Center. So you go there and you pay to the bank. Then they give you a token or a code. Then you bring it to the NIA officials. Then the NIA officials register you. So there is no cash exchanging hands between NIA staff and members of the public.
Okay.
So if anybody paid money into the hands of NIA official, that collection of the collection of that money is an illegality. That's number one. Number two, the fee in the last 2 weeks would have been 280
and you're 250,
not 250. So if the person collected 250, that again is proof that it would have been before 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And even if it was within the last 2 weeks, the person was not to collect, the NIA staff was not to collect cash. And finally, anybody who puts money they collect, any state official who puts money they collect in the course of their work
into their pockets,
is not doing what the state has charged them to do. It cannot be that the private pockets of a public official is an extension of state coffers. Absolutely not.
Anyways, make sure we say
I just want to assure Jones and the people of Ghana that I'll be speaking to the regional registration officer in Koforidua immediately after this show.
Very well. We say, Obi, I have a lot of confidence in Prof to simplify the issuance of the cards by just centralizing the printing. It shouldn't matter where you register. The centralized system should be able to print a registrant card at the NIA office across the length and breadth of the country. In a digital era, this should be easy to do. We are all aware of internet network challenges in some remote areas, but if bank ATM withdrawals can be made anywhere in Ghana, why not the NIA centralized printing? I'm here and on the way.
So, Pacho, my main response to Nana, I'm here. When I spoke about printing the 541,529 unprinted cards in 11 days. That's exactly what I had in mind.
Okay.
We're going to print all those cards centrally at the NIA headquarters. We will set up a print farm on the third floor in 11 days. All these cards will be printed. Then they will be boxed and shipped off to the regional offices. The regional offices will then remove them and send them to the district offices. And then people will be called in by telephone and by the blast text messages to come and collect their cards. These are things we have thought about, we planned, and it's happening. You see, the thing is, as I said earlier, we designed a system with a three-pronged approach. Instant issuance, deferred issuance, and centralized
printing.
Okay, so the instant issuance was to correct the historic problem of non-collection of cards. na me ba to 2017 no. Na there were CD-ROMs. Just say yen free containers. Because after all these years, the last mass registration was I think 2012 or 2013, before the 2012 elections.
Yeah.
And yet they were still there, on not even downloaded, because the centralized printing. And so I assign Ediako. This approach we adopted was a wise one. It enabled over 90% of the cards to be issued instantly. That is why we have so much that is already issued.
Okay.
But the 642,403 out of 17 million, that's a small percentage. Although if you are one of those people, it's a big deal. But 642,000 cards printed but not collected out of 17 million, no, it's a small number, so to speak. However, the assurance I'm giving to the people of this country is that those whose cards are not yet printed, those cards will be printed centrally and then distributed to the regions and districts, where they will then be collected by the people who have been so affected.
Well, so, Obi, please ask Prof. I began the replacement of my Ghana card, which got missing in Cape Coast in August 2022. Over 6 months now, I'm unable to get my card since they claim they don't have cards to print out new cards since August. I went to the head office in Accra and they said I had begun the replacement process already. So unless I go for it in Cape Coast, and the Cape Coast office still claimed they don't have cards to print out, what's the options available for me? Sarkodie, I think that has been answered already.
Yes, Sarkodie, the answer to repeat is that wait a week or so, there will be cards available. Cape Coast will be your best bet.
Sure.
Everybody coming to the head office doesn't help, because the cards head office it's not like
that's true. Kindly ask Prof, why is it that Ghana Police Service don't accept photocopy of the card, and also how do the police authenticate the card and with what system? 2, how do organizations synchronize the Ghana card with the existing data to check and correct the wrong information about you? Thank you. My name is Wilson Mensah, in the Mr. Wilson Mensah and anyway Abba.
Wilson, the photocopy is dangerous. They shouldn't accept any photocopy. I can tell you of a bank, a big bank in Accra here, which took somebody's photocopy, a card, and then made a photocopy of it, and then used to rely on it as a means of verification. Well, somebody swindled that bank 162,000 Ghana cedis because of their recourse to photocopy. And the bank was shocked, and it quietly paid off the 162,000 to the person who had been, whose money had been taken. The law says that wherever identification is required, the Ghana, wherever identification is to be established, the Ghana card shall be required. So require the Ghana card. Now, when you require the Ghana card and you hold it, do the next thing: verify. And I've told you about the verification system we have built. So that's the answer to the second question. How can the police verify? Well, we are working with the Ghana Police Service. There are verification devices. We exchange data with them. Then they get onto, or they get onboarded onto our system. I'll share with you the institutions that have been onboarded. They get onboarded and they can then verify. So if you can imagine a situation where every police officer is armed with a verification device, like your point of sale device when you go to restaurant or whatever. When they take your card, whether you are a driver or whatever, and they swipe it or touch it or whatever they do, our device, the card is both contact and contactless. It has a radio antenna in the chip, so it can be read from a distance, the same way that gates are open with electronic cards. So it can be read on touch or from a distance. The police can verify you by holding a verification device. Yes, and even if you don't have your card, your fingerprint can applied on the device, then your card
information now will
pop up as may be necessary. So all of these are technologies we have built that are available, And I make us say there have been over 120 verifications without a hitch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obi, good afternoon.
And the last part of his question is how can institutions?
Yeah.
Well, the institutions have to be onboarded. They have to have an MOU with us. They have to have an API connection. There's a technical system that they have to have that allows their system to talk to our system to have a proper handshake. And then the information is shared and you can be verified within 300ths of a second.
Oh, okay. Well, so Obi, I have two questions. Why is the Ghana card referred to as Ghana card when the inscription on it is ECOWAS card? In the only problem, no. I didn't friend a Ghana card when ECOWAS card near also. And I'll say, why has the card been embedded with a data memory of 128G and a tracker? I heard him state these yesterday in Parliament. Yao and anyway now.
The question that's a crack, but Obi bisa a first question.
Yeah, or say I didn't hear friend a Ghana card. I brought ECOWAS card now.
Okay, Mamini and Wano, Medanasi. 2014-2015 era Oman Penny Mahama Breso and West African heads of states and governments Omunina no call Ben Krum say okay. Yen West Africa as a national you can say a sub-regional ID system be facilitate the free movement of a bit me amaya ya diakoniaba e yem potem ha say we are hinting me say me can bro food we know it's a me catch you
good
na sene be ya ye betumi adi enkita ho adi dwa na akoniaba mu aye mre ne ade amayen no ese say oman bia nya a West African or ECOWAS ID card iti omu nyina de omu nsa ye mpanimfo no ehye ase be ye emra ema yen entino na ye ba ye Nana Attafuah aban ba 2017.
Yes.
Now we are confronted with the reality that as I say Ghana this year ECOWAS identity card. And na esan yen so Ghana ye mra ne yen hihye dada. Say Ghana this year so Ghana identity card. Enti NIA ye ne sabre ye minister ne friend no Dr. Anthony Akoto say.
Okay.
Ye ne minister no any ECOWAS for edinkita ho se ebeye ohaw ene atete se ebeta Ghana for kosa line enkoye ECOWAS card na yensa kosa line na yenye Ghana card.
Okay.
Enti yempe kwan bi so mfa na yenka ne mienu emum tie tu ho anamon di nkomo lawyer for no bi ko ho musu ba ha se ebe hwe yenye Ghana card no esisi hu se ebe ya na ya ID hu komo na hu say yes you bet me integrate ni me no na mom the salient features ashenso de kas kroje wo ECOWAS de no ese se eba Ghana de no so ena se udi ECOWAS card no eduru ba bi fufuro bi ese hu say ECOWAS into the name ECOWAS identity card no de ese se wo so se o ye Senegal se o ye Nigeria se o ye Ghana
ese
e wo so ena ECOWAS symbol no so ese se e wo card no
and so card infin no okay
the geography of it Ghana card flag
Ghana flag ho
coat of arms ECOWAS the location ni nyina eye nhihye and now no obi besra me from Benin omo immigration Benin for no back no so kura Benin for edie me a copy of it me block uni din and I'm here just for the purpose of teaching. It is the same as
features no also
features no the location and all of that yeah chip embedded omo there no any
chip no
space no for something else but the point is the geography of the card the location ni nyina e ya de kro enti ye no ye ne sa to kill your friend saying two birds with one stone. Say you betimi de a bo baako akum enoma mienu. Enti ya fuse ya ka ECOWAS card and Ghana card abom. Ya save Ghana adehye sika bebre. Ya san a save ye in the trouble anka ye be fam any ye na ye be fam ni akosa line na ya ye card impre no and na ya ye no Enti no in fulfillment of the ECOWAS heads of states and government protocol President Mahama Benso omo
yedi en sasha ase
Sabren so cry president Mahama and na ye
ECOWAS chairman at the time.
Inti ye diso a continuation of what was started.
Okay.
And I assign so they aye yen Ghana card. The second, the other question, say Adentina chip.
Yes. Was it tracker? Our chip name na 128 gig.
Yes. In fact, a 148 crowd.
Oh, okay.
Na a 20 kilobytes of it, taken up by the processing system.
Okay.
128 na aka no was no. Emma space. Emma yetimi ji wonsa du nyina. Ya ji wanim fefe ene wani kosua ene waso nyina yetwa ama aba
ewo chip ne so.
For information how the my nyina highest education attained so information nyina yewo. And on the chip also there are 14 loadable applets. Applets no mention must say bia obi be a wall mansion. Now 14 apartments.
Okay.
To team dada. Ba ultimate the 14 no mahai.
Yes.
Ejiska enya for example, if Joy FM and now ukromu hene epese ohunu all infancies bia ukromu ni dua ya nkwanta na so pese ohu dua ya nkwanta fo wi ase nyina now ba beje applet obe rent space on the Ghana chip Ghana car chip obi a ofi dua ya nkwanta bia opese oye no you have the person's information it be a snit and GRA and health insurance and any of these big or a telco.
Yeah.
A bit me about better space
on the
chip. So some banks are having a conversation with us, wanting to use the Ghana card as the bank card. Now enya fe na omo produce like Visa or MasterCard or something that they will use the Ghana card as the bank card.
Oh, okay.
Enti functionalities be brentisa applet no. I mean, 128 kilobytes now.
Sure.
To accommodate the applets on the card, provide the space for information, and so that is also a revenue source for the government.
For the government of Ghana.
And then the last thing on that, Obisa said, add then a tracking number. Every modern ID card must have a way of being tracked, just like your passport, just like your driver's license and all of that. So a tracking system or number, unique number. A work card and also a personal identification number. But the particular card also has an ID number.
Okay.
So it is a card and you run out be replacement. You have a new card number, but your personal identification number will be the same. But what must say? And card no, the tracking number allows us to track that specific card. Into say a Irana ye card na say obi aye medical semu. If somebody has tried to maybe tamper with it, we will know whether this is it or that isn't. Yeah. Although we are confident that the card we have built, you cannot tamper with.
Really tamper with it. Okay. One of your staff, Obed Ajikum Sene. Also, he sends his congratulations to you for your excellent and brilliant responses and a good job done. Inti Obed Ajekum send minim officer or also a NIA staff. And Obed, thank you for doing the listening.
Obed is my secretary.
Okay, and Obed, thank you.
And in full answer to the last question,
yes,
it is important to report when your card is missing. The tracking number enables us to do all of that.
Okay.
Very good reason to do that.
Okay.
Me Danny Pakro bisa our question as.
Yeah.
Na me chair Obed in super.
Also, we say Obi, I am a district director of NIA, and I want to ask Prof about our conditions of service. We are not being treated well at all. And I've gotten 2 messages supposedly free staff of NIA our mobile conditions of service, Prof.
Regrettably, it's one of the most irresponsible things to do. Why would anybody do this? If you have concerns about your conditions of service, you come to me or you write to me.
It be your match ready,
I'm an honest, open, transparent person. In early January, I got a certain petition.
Yes.
I'm a serious lawyer.
Okay.
It purported to come from some district registration officers.
Okay.
We have 176 of them. The document was not signed. It lacked seriousness. But it combined concerns about some conditions of service, which was very minimal, with acrophobia. At a time when they had not been rolled onto the Controller and Accountant General system.
Yes.
So they could not be paid. This is public service.
Okay.
There are procedures. So at that time, they couldn't be paid, but they had been working. So we advanced them some monies. Enti ebra almost pay no. We expected them to do the needful.
Yes.
Na ebre na twem ni abom koko. So we gave them notice and then withheld their pay. In the process, some mistakes were made, and a few people who had paid back had their salaries blocked. And very simple. You draw it to our attention, we credit your account. But they added it to our petition now, as a concern. Some of those, so there were about 5 or 6 different issues. I read the petition, I referred it to the appropriate officers so that they would deal with different aspects. But it is one matter I put on my desk for this week. Unfortunately, this week has become a parliamentary week. Last week and tomorrow, today we're even to go to Parliament on another matter, and then it has been postponed. So what it means is that it is a matter that is before me. Other aspects in that petition, like the withdrawal of the money, those have been addressed. They've been paid. But it is wrong, this perception in this country, that if you want a problem solved, you should take it to the media. It's so wrong. It hata niemem wa bonting here. Obi, I will do the needful, not because nipa krono abeka because there is absolutely nothing any radio station can do a very verse a decision made properly by NIA management because the person has gone to the media. And it will not quicken my pace. My pace is quickened by my deep sense of patriotism. And yet there will be beka and my yet what is needful. At every single stage, every day of my life, I pray to God every morning I wake up to teach me how to do the right thing and what to do. And I'm guided by that sense of mission. I have a charge to keep, a nation to serve. Now, so nation I may serve, I must serve it with my best intellect, my best judgment, and my best effort, and yet propelled by pressure from the media. Me back Ghana 98 after my many years stay in Canada. The first thing that shocked me was when I was working at Shraj. I was the chief investigator and director of operations at Shraj. The first thing that shocked me about public service in Ghana or about Ghanaian society was the number and types of complaints people were taking to President Rawlings. A lot of them were administrative justice matters, which is why Shraj exists.
Was there.
Commission on Human Rights and administrative justice. Now, almost at the Abba, now President Rawlings' time, when they were operating from the castle, near the Abre Shraj, Shraj should look at them. Then the question is, why do...
I don't know, man, farm I'm a whole street.
But ya dwenisa ajis asem no kofa obiso as a gratwa mentality. It's the right thing. I think it requires a bit of a sociological analysis. But just to bring closure to this one, when they are being trained, they are trained along. They train also by the public service commission.
And we work out more staff.
And this goes for all public servants. You are trained to use internal channels to seek redress to problems. These people were hired November 2021. So November is when they had a year. You signed an accepted appointment under certain conditions which were spelled out to you in your appointment letter and are training. This is public service. You are entering the public service system for the first time in your life, if you are. based on the representations you've made to us. So you are placed on a certain salary scale with certain conditions. You accept and sign. And then a year later, you are grumbling. And when you are grumbling on radio. You know, I find it.
Anyway, your conditions are more signing on to. Just a year ago.
Just a year ago. Otherwise, what other conditions?
But is it in there, say, ABR, annually, there will be some reviews of more conditions and
public service rules.
Okay.
Annual review of your conditions of service cannot be one of the public service rules. So every year, that's why there are negotiations.
Okay.
That is why they get increments in salaries and all of that, following a certain trajectory and procedure. Now, but even if that were the case, you ought to raise it appropriately. Now, you don't raise it when your chief executive is on radio. That's ambush, and it is not only unfair, it is ungentlemanly or unladylike. But our staff are also cautioned not to use what they term unsatisfactory conditions of service to extort monies from applicants.
Yeah.
When a lot of the people who some people who complain to us, to me for example, about extortion, they don't want to say the office. They don't want you to take disciplinary action against the Pakrono. Yet they want you to somehow resolve the matter. There was my former boss, Justice Yoni Kolendi. He trained me. Justice Yoni Kolendi was in London, met somebody, a neighbor. A person was talking about a beautiful experience they had in Ghana, or Ghana, a holiday. Bibia ko kama, ajise oko Ghana, a Ghana card, oko and Ghana card. Beautiful card, say. Nanso so obi ohono mo gini sika. And then Komodieno led to the apparent existence of some kind of as a syndicate. And omujijis kanti ukwana obi ajuska with this office. Now I've no fill form no a different office. Ni akọ printed card na ma in a different office. Omu twetwa omu to kakra. Send e be ya so tiase. The judge told the lady say onimni pa oda no. Now Prof Attafuah will not condone this. Into oman information. It is a two free at the end of the day of Frey while in London, my mini panel exercise church in one sana all mommy information. By the next 2-3 days, near Chini Pakrono. So I had my CID officers go from here all the way to Sakru Kronana or Mosono. I call a sting operation, and they are being prosecuted. We take our mandate seriously, but some of them are using what is this attitude about public officer and check and a wow to a daddy. Say, oh yeah, a woman or man of courage and decency. I would say all follow due process and a kawaii frustrated by a non-responsive management and now bibisa. So our courage and coding Debeka and Kobeka say me a district officer of so come bono abaso. But this kind of cowardice, when you can be, and I am prosper as a nation. This reprimand is not because I'm upset. It is because I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that a person who took public office less than a year and a half ago, who is concerned about conditions of service, would be raising it on air.
On air. Very well. Prof, say maybe 1 or 2 messages. I'll pause for a short break, then we do Parliament. Any assurance how the come parliamentarian the interview in Abbey Boache or Edinburgh in Scotland. Or say, Obi, can you please let Prof explain the tracking number again? Does it mean they can track the exact location of each card at every point in time? Thank you. I think that has been explained. But if Prof is minded, so I explain it. We say good afternoon, Obi, to you and to Prof. My question is: are the biometrics that the NIA capture unique, such that any one person cannot register twice under 2 different names and identities? This is critical for the credibility of the voters register, given the desire of the EC to use the Ghana card as an instrument for citizenship authentication. Atik Mohammed and Onodu Atik. Good afternoon to you wherever you may be. Let me see. Which other ones we have here? This one says, why is it that the premium is only going on in Eastern and Ashanti? Okay, and Eastern and Ashanti, of course. Eastern, Ashanti, Western, that's Takrade and Accra, and so 2 centers. The Supreme Court ruled that you cannot use birth certificate for identification. Why is the NIA using it? Okay, Prof. Prof is a lawyer. It will be and no, if that is exactly what the Supreme Court said. The other ones, and so Ekawa has said, okay. Obi, good evening. If you are at all times required to hold the card, the hard card, why do we have a unique number? Why won't you mention your unique number and that's all for transactions? Why hold the card everywhere? Kofi Akpalu, a founder of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Someha yem konkwa Kofi Akpalu, thank you. Enti onono kase, why don't we use our unique number? Ne was a card no edina baby. Lot and lot of messages coming through. Say my time I intimi in parliament and send some. So but this one says that Obi, kindly let Prof respond to these questions for me. How much does NIA owe its creditors and how much have been paid as we speak? How many blank cards are the creditors going to release out of the 3.2 million cards projected? That has been answered. When will the institutional registration also resume since it's on hold? Okay, that's a good question for him to answer.
Which one?
Institutional registration, yes. Finally, I humbly suggest more hands should be added to the team that work on the rejected records, that's RDA, and also the team that does the issuance of cards too should be increased as well. Enamuraba Eddie Way Abraying. Good evening, Obi. A report from an applicant is that she went to register for the card, but the officer then refused to register her because her surname was different from her father's surname on her birth certificate. Because of that, she was not registered. Any explanation for a case like this from your friend, Mr. Mankwetia, aka Emina, ain't way Mr. Mankweti, aka Amina, and on the way Haba. Let me see. Okay. Good evening, Obi. Please kindly ask Prof, when will the registration for the children under 15 years begin? In fact, his name will be captured in the Guinness Book of Records. Ghana will never forget about his yeoman's job. God bless him abundantly. Master Planner Jr., all the way from Kintampo and on the way. Obi, please let him clarify. Is it Ghana card or ECOWAS card, and what are the differences? Said the Patrice said the Megashi. Unfortunately or fortunately, we hear no data, but I'll see if Obejim Real Science with Timu Ebiewa. But that has been answered already. Good afternoon, Obi. Please tell Prof he's doing a good job and that I miss lecturing on the topic of sexual harassment with him at Domacon University of Ghana Business School and Onodiwe by University of Ghana Business School for Yachia Munyina. Messages not at door. So I'll do this when I come back. Prof will respond to questions I will note it down, and then we take him to Parliament now. And minority in Parliament, a presser. Edin Simbia to the following and representation on any electoral commission chairperson he will respond to all of those. Now for Attafuah Edin Komono Abawi, stay with us.